Welcome to SVG-TV News for Saturday the 9th of April 2016. I'm Sharon Garraway with the headlines. With a concern over school attendance in this country, Chief Education Officer is notifying parents there are social safety nets which are in place to ensure that students turn out every day. Luan Gilchrist was addressing the gathering at the National Awards Ceremony for recognition and celebration of scholastic achievements in the May-June 2015 Caribbean Secondary School Certificate examinations and the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment examinations. Gilchrist spoke on the need for parents to be fully engaged with their children's education and said parents' involvement will positively impact the instruction and assessment. The Chief Education Officer says parents must position themselves to ensure that their children enjoy the fruits of the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
At the level of the Ministry of Education, there are counselors, there's the teachers in the schools whose function is to counsel students. We have appointed an officer as a school attendance officer, and you will be surprised at the number of truant students whom we have found so far. Not only are the students truant, but also we have issues with the parents not parenting and not supporting their students' attendance. And I'm saying to all of those within hearing that if you are experiencing difficulty having your children attend school, please approach the principals, the head teachers. We discuss this every time we meet. Please, parents, approach the principals and the head teachers. Let them know what the difficulties are, because there are structures in place, systems in place to support your children's health, their nutrition, their attendance at school.
Gilchrist says that the National Awards Ceremony aims to highlight the successes of students and also serves as a motivation for them to do their best in future endeavors. Offering advice to students, Gilchrist noted that while SVG is doing well at the examinations, we can excel with other Caribbean countries. She added that students don't have a need to sit 21 subjects, however they need to do and find core subjects and excel at them.
I'm saying to you, we have the enabling structures, we have the facilities in place, we have the trained personnel. Let us gain from the expenditure that is made in education, the efficiencies that we need to gain. No matter how good your performance is, students, there is always a gap to be filled. Let us examine our performance, let us see where the gaps are, and let us together seek to address those gaps, fill those gaps. We can do much better than we're doing. While we're doing well, we still can do much better. So I want you to stand tall, I want you to stand proud. And I want you to know that St. Vincent and the Grenadines can be counted among the champions in the West Indies.
Additionally, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says that the quality teaching and quality leadership in schools are vital components to improve student results. In his feature address to the gathering at the ceremony, Dr. Gonsalves says that while it is true that there are other stakeholders, research shows that once there is a minimum level of facilities and a minimum level of nutrition, what makes the difference is quality teaching and leadership in schools.
And we do have a certain minimum level of facilities and of nutrition in the primary schools. And I can tell you, you have a school which is separated essentially by a mountain range. Villages the same social situation, same kind of parenting. But one school scores in excess of 80% and the other school is 58, 59%. And when you inquire in several schools across who some of them who haven't done, which have not done well, the teachers will tell me that this year they didn't get a good crop. Well, children are not like peanuts or yams or dashin. So I don't understand the concept of a good crop.
Dr. Gonsalves also mentioned quality teaching and quality learning in schools across the country is necessary. He added that one of the year's quality to teaching adds another year of educational value, while quality leadership also adds educational value.
7 years of primary education and you are unlucky to meet 2 bad teachers, they will subtract educational value, and therefore when you reach the grade 6, a number of the students are going to be able to read only at grade 4 level because they had 2 bad teachers out of 7 years. Yes. They may make up if they have parents who take a great deal of interest in them. And parents are important. But if these children didn't encounter teachers of unacceptably low quality, they would be at the required level of reading and mathematics.
The month of April is being celebrated as World Autism Awareness Month, and the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment is utilizing the opportunity to sensitize the public on issues relating to autism. Chief Medical Officer Simone Kieser Beach explains that the various disease of the condition and the various learning and social challenges that persons affected by the condition are variety.
We suspect quite a few persons living in St. Vincent with autism who are on the spectrum. So autism is what we call a spectrum disorder, where persons have challenges in terms of communication, in terms of learning, so in terms of being able to express themselves sometimes. If some extremes of the spectrum, some children into adults cannot even speak to communicate with someone else. On the other extreme of the autism spectrum, we have individuals who are extremely, what we would say, bright, who are almost in the IQ level of a genius in certain areas. But autism is a wide range where we have people who will have challenges in terms of their ability, their intellectual ability, their abilities to learn, to communicate, and to interact with each other in a social way.
Dr. Beach pointed out that her ministry suspects that various members of the society suffer from the condition. She further outlined that her ministry is increasing its screening to adequately detect persons with the condition so that they receive the help needed.
So that we might have a child who is autistic, not diagnosed, who's going to a school and not doing very well. It is because they're autistic and they do not learn in the same way as the average child. And we think that we have quite a few children in St. Vincent with this problem, and our aim is to raise the awareness and to increase the screening so that with help, with special learning and teaching practices and methods, these children can do very well, and we can get them from a place of not being able to communicate and not being able to do well in school to being able to communicate freely, to be able to support themselves and interact in the normal environment. But it requires that the persons are found, we do assessments, and we have specific training and services for them.
A 3-day workshop will commence here on Monday on the implementation of the World Trade Organization WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement. The workshop will be hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade, Commerce and Regional Integration in collaboration with the International Trade Center, ITC. It will be held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Conference Room and will target both public and private sectors. The workshop is geared towards enhancing the capacity of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to implement the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement and will be facilitated by officials from the ICT, which is a joint agency of the World Trade Organization and the United Nations. The Trade Facilitation Agreement contains provisions for expediting the movement, release, and clearance of goods, including goods in transit. It also sets out measures for effective cooperation between customs and other appropriate authorities on trade facilitation and customs compliance issues. It further contains provisions for technical assistance and capacity building in this area. A drowning has occurred today on the Grenadine island of Bequia at Lower Bay. Reports are that around 3 p.m. the body of a male student from the mainland St. Vincent was discovered floating by a water taxi operator. The secondary school student was reportedly on a field trip with some other secondary school students along with teachers. Police are investigating the matter. SVG-TV News will update you with more information as news comes to hand.